Hello. Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much to GayVertebrae to allow me into her stream and kind of take over for a little bit. I'm so excited to ask some questions and um just learn more about them. A little bit about myself. My name is Maps. I am the founder of this little brand named Art Zen. My purpose is to that I want to prove that help at least help prove that art and visual arts, music, dance, however you see fit, is good for you and it's good for your mental health, it's good for your body. And it has so many benefits that are so amazing, and so many people have been touched by art and in so many ways, and it's such a big part of our lives. So this is why I'm here, because I've found artists just like Gay Vertebrae that are so amazing and have their type of art and their personality bleeds into their work, and also especially Gay Vertebrae's artwork I'm really inspired by, because they're not afraid to show you the darker parts of life and some things that maybe many wouldn't even want to talk about. And then she's so brave, they're so brave, so sorry,
Okay.
to uh put that out there and really focus on the fact that it's so important, and life is I always say, like, life is a beach, so like you have ups and downs, and we're supposed to have all of the emotions that are up and down. So I'm so
Mm.
happy to be here and so happy to learn more about them. But yeah, how about you? Please tell me about yourself.
Mm.
I'm just here for questions.
Okay, give me 1 second so I can fully focus. I want to put our
Yeah.
name and pronouns up on the screen for both of us. Your pronouns are she, her,
Yes.
yes? Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
there we go. Um, tell you about me. That's a big question.
Yes, yeah.
Um, my name is Stevie, but online I go by GayVertebrae. Um, The name comes from, well, I'm pansexual, and also I have a lot of chronic pain in my spine that results in uh, me being pretty limited in my functioning. Um, so, yeah, when I stream, I tend to do like 1 to 2 hours, shorter streams. Yeah.
Cool, cool. How did you find yourself doing the streams? Like, I know that we could probably back up a little bit, but I know how long have you been doing art, and how did you find yourself like streaming your artwork?
So uh, I tried I tried doing art when I was younger. I remember like in middle school getting one of those like, you know, draw a tiger step by step, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
would
love that.
I would get so frustrated because I used to have like really bad perfectionism. So I tried a few of those like how to draw things, and it looked good, but it didn't look good enough for my brain. So I just kind of threw up my hands and was like, this isn't for me. And I ended up doing more like music classes and stuff like that when I was in high school and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then when shortly after I graduated, I had some hard mental health times and was in the hospital for a bit, and I learned what art therapy was for the first time, and I was like, you mean I can get out my emotions without speaking it? And that just
That's
like
awesome.
that just like blew my mind, and I was like, Yeah. So I started dabbling in art here and there. I decided I wanted to try and be an art therapist. So I started on my fine arts, um, aiming towards my fine arts associate's degree.
Oh my God, that's
Um,
awesome.
I probably did like 5 different art classes, and then I struggled all through them, just hard mental health time, and it just kind of hit me eventually that I didn't think I was in the place to not let other people's mental health affect my mental health. So I decided to shift gears towards trying to be um, an occupational therapy assistant. At the time, this was a few years later, I was much more stable in my mental health, and I was working as a caregiver at a group home, and I just wanted to be able to help them more. So I got into a program for occupational therapy assistant. However, stuff with my back started happening, so I had to quit that eventually. But I eventually needed to go to treatment for an eating disorder, and while I was there, we started these. At this point, I like hadn't really done much art in the past several years. Um,
Mhm.
we started these like we took an old book and a bunch of collage material, and we like collaged in the books. And I still have it, and I love it so much because it really helped push me out of my perfectionism. Like starting by
That's
like
awesome.
simple things that didn't feel very simple, but like not using scissors and instead like tearing the sides of the magazine papers or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that really helped get my foot into doing art again and realizing how much I really enjoyed it. And then while I was still in treatment, um, this was like a yearish later, I tried ink pens and I fell in love. And um, since then, I do art. Like, I feel weird if I don't do art at least once a day or every
That's
other
very
day at least. But
that's awesome.
yeah, it's that's why a lot of my art is very emotional because
Yeah.
that's the whole reason why I started art was like I needed to get things out and process them. And I've heard, comments from loved ones sometimes being like, "You're very talented, but it would just be nice if, to see a butterfly or like, something
Oh my God.
something like that." And I have to just smile and nod, but it's okay
Yeah.
if my art's not for everyone, but it helps me a lot, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, art is such a personal thing. Like I feel like art because art is coming from such like an internal special place within every person, and every person is different. I was just reading this book actually about it's called like neuroaesthetics, and it said something about how everyone's art tastes, whether it be like some music or visual or whatever, basically is based on the way that their brain was like connected and like their experiences and their world and what they're interested in. And I think it's so beautiful also to learn that you were actually enjoying art therapy, and that you seem to be someone that like really wants to help people. And I think I honestly think that your art is perfect. I not this in, but I think it's perfect because you are actually helping others see and feel the things that they might be afraid of. Like the person that's asking you, like, "Oh, hey, hi, why don't you draw a butterfly?" Well, maybe that's too easy, you know. Like, I maybe what? How about you think about like something a little more complex than and things that like maybe they're probably afraid to say what you're already putting out there. So not this, and but that's my take on it. And that's so beautiful. It's also what a surprise that you are uh, tried going in that path. Obviously, life. I always say like life's a journey, and then sometimes like you think you want something, and or you're determined to do something, but I think the life's path might just be different, and you
Yeah.
know I think you're where you're supposed to be, and I'm very happy that you're here because then I wouldn't be able to interview you in this capacity at least.
Thank you.
um yeah, yeah, and I'm so excited to learn more about how you use art now, and I love that you say that every day you have to do art. Like it's almost like it is a necessity, and that's why I started art zen because I think people have really forgotten that art is so important to
Mm,
you, and how much impact it has. Like we're all stuck to our screens, and you go to a
yes.
concert, everyone's on their phone. You go to a museum, everyone wants to take the pictures and
Mm,
or whatever. And it's like I think there's one level that we've forgotten that art is like something you experience and something that you it's made to make you feel things and
yeah.
process and just like go through the emotion of being alive, honestly, even so. Um, it's beautiful to hear that you're that type of person that's like I needed and I wish more people were like that. I that same book I was reading actually, it's like humans are supposed to do at least 45 minutes a day of art and then their stress will go away. And I was like,
Mm,
that's fine to me. Um so yeah, it's really cool. I'm happy to meet someone that takes it very seriously. um, and then how I know that you also so you stream your artwork and
mhm.
you your work and everything. So you're sharing it out there. What are people's responses when they like interact with your artwork and has have you ever had some like really nice experience where someone's like, wow, like you said exactly what I needed to hear or see in this case.
Yeah, I've had a handful of moments like that. One recently I can think of is okay, sorry. Come on, hip.
Okay.
You gotta scoot so I can actually use my mouse. Um I can pull it up in a second. But there was a piece I finished not too long ago. Uh I called it Two Birds, and it was about um oh, and that's taking up the whole screen. Sorry.
Okay.
Multitasking is a lot.
All
Yes,
good,
here
all
it
good. I
is.
love
Um
technology is annoying sometimes.
um yeah, so this piece I made about um my physical health, kind of like how like there's a injured bird on the left, and that's kind of represents my physical body, and the bird flying represents, I guess, kind of mentally how I am. Like there's a lot of things I want to be doing, but things that my body just can't keep up with. Um, and I feel like I'm constantly bouncing back and forth between feeling more acceptance with my body grief and feeling a lot more, resentment and this isn't fair and da da da. Um, but uh, some of my viewers also struggle with mental or physical illnesses, and it was really touching to have some really deep conversations about coping with it all with some of my
Yeah.
viewers while I was making this. And I've had that
Yeah.
experience with other pieces I've made too, where people can relate.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, so this is beautiful. So
Thank you.
awesome. Which I'll save some space at the end because I really want to make sure that folks can find your artwork and find ways to get access to this because this is awesome. And I love that messaging behind it. I love hearing what a piece of art meant for someone because everyone also has such different POVs on stuff and just hearing it
Mm,
from the artist is so awesome. Also so beautiful. Wow.
thank you.
I'm great. Um so how do you use art now in general? So I think it sounds like you've dedicated most of your time to art at this point. I think
Yeah.
so. How do you use art now, and when it's not just for your personal purposes? Like, how do you what else yeah, do you do?
um, well, I also crochet. I very recently, like within like the last 2 months, started selling some of my crochet stuff just as like a side thing to like an addition of my ink drawings and stuff. Yeah, that's been nice. Um, a lot of my art I do on stream. Um, a few times a week, either working on an ink piece or recently crocheting, or on Mondays on the stream we to like spin the wheel, where we have a bunch of random words on a wheel and then we land on three of them and then have like 20 minutes to doodle something. Half the time things come out cursed, but it's really it's really has pushed me to uh, try different mediums during that time, or maybe draw things I normally wouldn't draw. And also just like to be okay with things not being perfect, because you can't expect
Yeah,
yourself to draw a masterpiece in 20 minutes.
yeah,
So,
totally. I love that. I love that. Um, the emphasis on the idea that you just make something for yourself. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Like the times I've had to remind people, like, hey, art is not supposed to be perfect. Like art is also not supposed to be like what even counts as a masterpiece, you know? Like I feel like the idea of like, oh, to have a masterpiece, like you have to have the
mm,
Michelangelo's like painting, whatever, whatever, and then it's like, no, not necessarily, but sure.
yeah,
So I really like that idea of you giving people space to just play.
yeah,
Um, and I'm so thankful for that because I don't think we have enough of that anymore. And I think it's so beautiful to just have the space, just be like, hey, let's just pick random stuff and draw
mm,
the random stuff. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be real. And I love
yeah.
that. What inspired you to start the stream? Like, how did you get into that?
So, my.
Also, oh my God, this is the cutest crochet ever.
Thank you.
I love
Thank you.
them. Sorry, I have ADHD, so
Oh, I do
yes.
too.
Love.
Um, So I started streaming about I think it was almost 2 years ago at this point. My health has not been the best since like 2020, but I'd go through periods of like it being really bad and then being really good. But the last like 2 years, it's been more consistent with like I unfortunately spend most of my time in my bedroom, most of the time laying flat in bed.
Oh
But
man.
I push myself to sometimes push myself a little too hard to sit for a few hours to stream here and there.
Yeah.
But it's it's given me social connection that I didn't have before then. Like I really just started it so I'd have some company while I was drawing,
Yeah.
and it's like for the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. It was just like me and my friend Pseudo, who was also my mod, just chit chatting. And then the stream usually ended with me going, "Hey, so no one's popped in here for like an hour. Do you want to just voice chat at this point on Discord?" So we'd switch over. But
Yeah.
eventually, like, new people started coming in, and I started my Discord, which has been awesome. I basically live on there. Um, but
Great.
it's
I'm
it
happy you have a community. That's really
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
nice to meet other people that can understand what it's like to deal with chronic stuff.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I love that's thank you for opening the space. I remember talking to Karma actually, which I think I met you through them.
Yes, yeah, and
Um,
Karma actually commented and said, "Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story with us. Thank you as well, Mabs, for your time and
thank
effort
you.
of interviewing community members."
Thank you.
Very
And thank you to
sweet.
Karma. They're awesome. And shout out to Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Check out their work. It's also wonderful. And yeah, you guys have created such beautiful communities. I'm so happy to have found this because I don't even know how, to be honest. I think you all found me, or the universe was just like, this is supposed to happen. Um, I feel really honored to have met all of you all, and it's beautiful. I really love what you all are doing, and it fills my heart with joy to see that art really helps folks, and people like you all, people like nobody, I mean everyone, it helps everyone. So I'm really happy. Um and I know for chronic pain, I mean that's crazy. I know it's really tough to have to deal with physical illness and still push through, and I commend you for that. Um especially for something that you're clearly so passionate about. So how has it been when it comes through dealing with your chronic pain and art therapy in general? Like I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but I've heard that like if hospitals have started studying even like music therapy that's more on like the physical side for like treating like chronic pain or kind of making it better, and how music and humming and a lot of that helps. Obviously, that's all temporary. Like there's also medicine and chemical medicine that needs to be applied. But how do you kind of cope with that? I know having to be in bed all day, like that must take a toll on you mentally too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does
Yeah.
for sure.
Really commend you for putting yourself out there and trying, and also telling your story and sharing what you're going through, because I know a lot of other people that actually go through similar situations, and I'm happy that you have art as a medium to like express yourself and express your pain and kind of just share what you go through on a day to day. So
Hmm.
that's awesome. um and uh I only have a few more questions for you, and then I promise I won't take over
No, you're
your whole
fine.
stream. But
No, you're fine. This has been nice. I usually just
yay, okay.
blab on my stream about random things anyway.
That's fun though. That's fun. I love that. Um, well, what um in general, I mean, I guess how how can others find you? How can others find your art? I started art. One of the art areas of Art Zen is that I love sharing people's artwork. I love sharing art with the world. I guess people call it promotion, but for me, it's more about sharing what I think people need. Meaning, so many artists, like I get to meet a lot of artists on a day-to-day basis. My full-time job, I'm actually working animation, so I get to meet so many cool artists and so much creative people, and just sharing is I don't know, my passion, I guess. So I want to make sure other people can easily find your work, and hopefully I can share this video outside of Twitch too so that others can see it. But how can people find you? How can they find your work? How can they find your stream?
Yeah.
Um,
I'll post this link and it will I can if you want like this will be recorded on and put on my computer. I can get the video streamed to you if you'd like.
yes,
Um
please.
and there's I just put a link in chat and it's up on the screen for my link tree and um that has links to my Twitch, which is my main social thing that I'm on. Um,
Yes.
it has a link to my fourth wall, which is where I sell my prints and my crocheted items. It's all it. There's also, if you're interested in like a commission, that's where you can go to get the email to reach out to me. There's a link to my Instagram and my TikTok that I don't
Awesome.
post enough on, but I should.
It's okay. The pressure that social media puts on us is kind of crazy.
Oh, it is.
Oh my God. It's like I I don't love social media. Like if I always joke that I'm gonna be one of those like old ladies that live in the middle of nowhere in the forest that it's just gonna be like, oh, I now have a Nokia and I'm never gonna use iPhones again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because oh my God, technology is getting a little crazy, but that's a different conversation for another day. But yeah, I totally get the pressures that social media puts. It's a little
It
crazy.
it's
So
hard to be an
I get
artist
it.
nowadays because
Yeah,
it's like you can't just be an artist. You have to like know how to market yourself online and you know how
really.
to like get the algorithm on your side and it can be really overwhelming. And there are times when me for like my own mental health I just want to be like I just want to delete Instagram and TikTok and all that. But then it's
Yeah,
like, well, you have to have a place to point people in to like
yeah.
see your art and stuff. So,
Ex I I have this dilemma every day. Every day I wake up and then I'm like, oh man, I haven't posted on Instagram in a while. Like, what should I do? And then I'm like, oh, and I just delete this thing. And then I'm like, well, I guess nobody will know. It's like it's interesting how it's kind of stops growth a little bit too if you're not like
yeah.
on social media these days. So I know it's really sad, but my goal one day is to have like a place where I can be with people in person. I'm excited
Oh, yeah,
for
that'd be
that.
cool.
But I I I guess I bring Karma back to this conversation somehow. But I remember talking to Karma and they said something like, it's one good thing about technology is that it's accessible to people that wouldn't necessarily be able to show up to something in person. And she was in Sacramento. Well, they were in Sacramento, and I think you're at, I don't, where are you located? I know you're somewhere in Central. So even us, like we still can't have a conversation and we don't necessarily have to be here in person but the
Mm,
conversation is still valuable, the community is still valuable, and also for people that are disabled, like that might not be able to leave their homes, it's beautiful that they do have accessibility. So that's
Hmm.
one great thing about technology is that it's made art much more accessible to people. But then,
Yes.
but I love hanging out artists in person and just seeing people's reaction to art is my favorite too. Like going to, I held a concert before, and it was so tiring, but I I feel like I was so excited and energetic and feeling like pure joy that I honestly could not feel that I was tired until like the day after. I was like, oh yeah, I just did that for a whole day. So it's tricky with technology, but still, thank you for sharing, and I want to make sure to put your work out there, and so happy to have had this opportunity, and thank you so much for having me. I mean, um, this is great. I'm so happy to have had this conversation and to have met you, and I don't know, be a little grain of salt in your journey of art. But yeah, I feel like, do you have any last thoughts, like any advice for any other people out there?
Advice. I would say that throwing perfectionism to the curb has improved my life drastically. It was very hard. It was not a overnight thing, and sometimes I can still get caught up in like perfectionism mindsets. And then I check myself and have to work on it to be okay with things not being perfect because that's not a thing. Um,
Yeah,
but yes, I think like, and there are a lot of like things online you can find to help you break out of perfectionism, like little exercises. But yeah, screw perfectionism. Also, like make the art that you want to make. Like recently I've been struggling with some thoughts of like if I did like if my main thing was painting anime characters, would I sell a lot more or whatever? But then I would quickly lose any motivation to do art because that's not what drives me. What drives me is making really emotional black and white pieces.
yeah,
And life is too short to focus on what others want, especially when it comes to art, which is self-expression. And
yeah,
another thing is to get out of the mindset that you um, have to be productive with your art. Um, like for example, Mondays when we were just doing little doodles. Like that's for fun. Like it's okay to just do art for fun. Um not for other people's eyes or for other people's eyes, but just not like, you know, something super technical. It's okay to have fun with art.
yeah. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. I'm gonna tear up. Okay. Wow, that was a great way to finish, and I can't say anything better than that. So I will leave now. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have had this conversation, and everybody, whatever Gay Vertebrae is doing, they're awesome.
Thank you.
And then yeah, it was a pleasure. Have fun in your stream. I'm excited to see what the Adventure Time doodles look like.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well,
Thank you
bye.
for this opportunity. Have a
Yeah,
good
thank
rest of
you.
your
Thank you so
day.
much. Thank you. You too. Bye.